What is the story with this country? Israel is constantly in the headlines. Outposts here, settlers there, illegalities, natural population growth, American and European pressure, and a building freeze infringing on Israel's independence and dignity. International pressure to freeze all building, out of proportion attention to every hut built in Yehuda and Shomron, and non-stop media coverage of the Israel issue highlight the great value of building expansion in the land of Israel. There is something very special about this country. The main point. In the words of Rav Charlap, in the days preceding the coming of the Messiah, the main issue will be the land of Israel, the source of everything. No wonder all the nations want to hinder Jewish immigration to and settlement of the Holy Land, and the weight of their opposition rests on this point. Rav Tzvi Yehuda Kook clarified and emphasized the priority of the land of Israel on a scale of sanctity. The sanctity of the earth, of the land, of Zion and Jerusalem takes precedence and underlies the sanctity of the people of Israel. When the entire land will be redeemed from the nations, the full redemption of the Jewish people will fall into place. Rav David Lida, as quoted in Eim Habanim Smecha, our redemption depends on the redemption of the land, and her subjugation causes ours. The issue of the land of Israel is central to the daily agenda. We must make clear who owns the land. This clarification is now being put to the practical test. The clarification process entails the demonstration of our commitment to the land. This commitment comes to the fore in the field, through the soil, through simply breathing the air of the land. All other problems preoccupying the Jews of Israel, and even in the diaspora, will sort themselves out when the people's commitment to the land is absolute. This is the first settlement point on Sela Ridge, west of Har Bracha. The ridge actually begins, as you can see, from Har Bracha and the hill just west of it, and continues towards Kedumim. We have made several attempts to build here in the past few months. A large group arrived today, and just in the past hour we built the house you see behind me. We hope that our tenacity here will lead to the collapse of the political process attempting to limit building and development in Yehuda and Shomron. Now, in the face of international pressure to freeze all expansion, as the situation exposes the weakness of the Israeli government vis-à-vis the land, now is the time to infuse new life force into the hearts of many who yearn for rebirth through the land. This is the time to revive and proudly re-energize settlement activity throughout Yehuda and Shomron. In fact, there is an increasing number of initiatives to establish new settlement locations. We are in Mitzpeh Avichai, named for Avichai Levi. Behind me, you can see the foundations for the home we will build here with God's help. Last night, they demolished our home. Now, we are rebuilding.
They can tear down a house anytime. A house can be demolished. Spirit, that's up to us if they can break it.
Children bring us to a more authentic viewpoint. I think this is the best environment in which to raise children, among the virgin rocks of the land of Israel, to see with their own eyes how the land is being built, not just to read about it in history books.
We're doing this for our girls, for the children of all of Am Yisrael, for the people who will come from the diaspora with God's help, so that they will have where to go. It seems warped that we are the news, international headlines. This is what preoccupies Obama and his cohorts in the United States.
את הבשורה הירוקה וכמו ענן להתגשם מעל חלקת שדה ריקה.
יש לנו פה, אם אתם יכולים להסתכל, בינינו לבין טלמון.
We have here, you can see, this whole hilltop area between us and Talmon Charasha Hill. Thousands of dunams between us and Nachliel, and then the state of Israel asks us, why aren't you moving? The land of Israel does not belong to the settlers, or to this or that kibbutz. This settlement point and these lands also belong to all of the people of Israel. Many are inspired by the enthusiasm of these pioneers, leading to widening circles of support for new settlement points. I am on my way to Chomesh with thousands of other Jews. This is a protest march against the eviction. It was an unthinkable barbaric act, unprecedented in the whole world. There is no precedent where a nation would turn on a group of peaceful citizens and evict them, thousands of people, from their homes. I came to protest this, and I hope these people will be able to return to their homes. Logistic support is provided to newly established outposts, and cells of potential settlers are forming, planning to redeem various desolate hilltops and build new communities. The people of Israel are fed up with the mundane and weak doormat mentality. They are ready for the settlers, with their deep faith and their commitment to the land and the Torah, to breathe new life into Israeli society.
The people will come. In the end, they'll join us. It will take a few years. It took the Hashmonaim 3 or 4 years to start their rebellion. Now the rebellion will start here. People will build. I was born here, and I will continue to build my home here. Nobody will move me from here.
לקבוע מזוזה
We are living in the era of Mashiach ben Yosef. We must intensify our efforts to re-establish the glory of Shechem.
יעקב שלם, ויבוא יעקב שלם, ויבוא יעקב שלם, עיר שכם. ויחנו פני יאיר, ויקם חלקת השדה, ויצב שם מזבח, אל אלוקי ישראל.
Systematic scheming against every attempt to return to Shechem, and worldwide apathy towards the barbaric destruction of Joseph's tomb highlight the paramount importance of returning to the city of the covenant. Redeeming Joseph's tomb from the massive destruction wrought by the Arabs is part of the natural process of the return of the Jewish people to its deep roots in the heart of the land. It is said of Yosef, all that he does, Hashem blesses with success. The blessing of Yosef accompanies all our settlement efforts. We must repay the kindness and redeem Yosef from his humiliating isolation. The time for redemption has arrived. The return to Zion has always entailed hardships, but pioneers drew strength from the land and overcame the challenges. The students of the Vilna Gaon gave poetic expression to the suffering and the strength of the builders of Israel in a letter sent to their friends in the diaspora. I remember the days as a kingdom supreme. I was crowned by the Lord in glory. Even now, nothing lacks here, for the Torah becomes clear. Why have I been degraded among things holy? To be the last of the last, and not the first of the first? Climbing up the slope, one encounters obstacles and challenges. Yet all the scheming, repeated destruction, arbitrary arrests of pioneers by soldiers, police, and border guard cannot stop the grassroots movement striving to redeem and settle the land.
There was some talk about an outpost compromise. Some points would be evacuated in exchange for official sanction to build in settlement blocks or simply to move to a different location. There was a lot of talk, born of weakness, about building in the land of Israel. It was important to us to come specifically here to make a statement. We will not live within fences, not just the physical fence, which greatly limits the development of a settlement, but we're not willing to live within fences that reduce the land of Israel to petty technical negotiations. We'll give this, we'll get that. Here, we have unlimited potential to expand. We live in the open spaces of a ridge encompassing thousands of dunams. It's all our home. This land has waited thousands of years for Jews to return, to settle, to plant, to produce. It's wonderful to watch the land come alive, developing and dynamic. A person wants living space, and the space in turn nourishes his spirit.
The outposts, expansion, planting, building on the hilltops, proudly continuing the momentum of the return to Zion. These form the authentic, natural political program for the return of the Jewish people to their land and its redemption from desolation and foreign occupation. Since the Six-Day War, about 200 cities, settlements, and outposts have been established, complete with modern infrastructures, throughout Yehuda and Shomron. Hundreds of yeshivot, midrashot, and other educational institutions have been built, including the university in Ariel with over 10,000 students. Hundreds of thousands of dunams of land have been redeemed. A thriving Jewish agriculture has developed. Israel between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea, is home to nearly 6 million Jews. Yehuda, Shomron, and Eastern Jerusalem are home to nearly 600,000. 10% of the Jewish population of Israel live east of the Green Line, and the population is growing.
אשר הרקע קום התהלך לאורכה ולרוחבה אל הארץ אשר הרקע לך 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 מארצך וממולדתך לך לך מבית אביך אל הארץ אשר הרקע לא 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 נזוז מפה שלנו
Tens of thousands of Israelis are calling from the bottom of their hearts to join the intense struggle against the building freeze decreed by Netanyahu's government. Plans to limit settlement to restricted blocks and existing communities must be foiled. The Jewish people, with the help of God, will continue the momentum of the return to Zion, building new communities in all parts of the land. Plans for destruction will be replaced by massive construction, restoring the dignity of Israel and illuminating the world with light from the land of Israel.